Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Irresistible and I'm a manifestation and soul realignment coach. My channel is geared towards helping you become your highest potential so that you can create and live the extraordinary life that is your birthright. In today's video, I'll be talking about how your assumptions of your SP run at 4 levels. But before we get started, just a quick reminder that I offer both email and video coaching. So if you need help in manifesting your specific person or any other desire, then I can definitely help you. The information is all in the description below. I also want to remind you that I have a self-study course for self-concept in love that will help you really upgrade your self-concept when it comes to love. So if you want more information, you can find it as well in the description below. And of course, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon in order to receive a notification anytime I upload a new video. So let's get started. When it comes to manifesting, I always say that your assumptions run at 3 levels. We're talking about your assumptions about yourself, which is your self-concept, your assumptions about the other person where another person is involved, as well as your assumptions about circumstances in general. But when there is a specific person involved, it's also important to drill down your assumptions about that person in terms of their qualities as well as how they see you. So if we were to really look at the assumptions, we're looking at 4 levels. The first one is your assumptions about yourself. The second one is your assumptions about the specific person. The third one is your assumptions about how your specific person sees you or what they think of you. And finally, we have the assumptions about circumstances in general where love is concerned. But all of these, it's important to note, are assumptions that are potentially standing in the way of you getting what you want. So here we're not talking about assumptions in general. We're talking about what is standing in between you and your manifestation. So looking at your assumptions about yourself, this is traditionally what I would refer to as self-concept, but there is another layer that people often tend to miss. And this is stuff that I've experienced through work with my clients. I've come to realize that it's not just about how you view yourself in love, it's also about what it is that you want and how you perceive your specific person responds to that. So it's important that we cover that as well. Now, going into traditional self-concept, we are looking at self-worth. It's not just self-worth, it's a sense of deservability, where your object of desire is. This is very important that when you are looking at your inner assumptions about self, you're keeping in mind the object of your desire, in this case, your specific person, because you might be someone who has a rock solid self-concept in terms of love in general, but where your object of desire, this person, you don't have a very rock solid self-concept for whatever reason. They have triggered you to become an even better version of yourself. Maybe you have not had that with other people, but today you're feeling a sense of deservability where that person is concerned. So whenever you're looking at self-concept, you want to look at the object of desire, in this case your SP. What is causing you to feel that you don't necessarily deserve them? So when we're looking at this level, so here I have 2 points that I will be covering. At the self-worth level, sense of deservability. It's not necessarily self-worth, it's a sense of deservability of this object of desire. We have different things that we may be feeling. Maybe we're not feeling good enough. Maybe we're not feeling lovable. Maybe we're not feeling whole and complete. Suddenly we feel that this is the person we want to be with, and we will not feel whole and complete until they're in our life. Maybe you're not feeling pretty enough. Maybe you're not feeling rich enough. Maybe you're not feeling cool enough. It's all kinds of aspects of self that are making you feel like you're kind of not good enough. It's, if that's the umbrella assumption, is it doesn't matter what the reasons are, you're just not feeling good enough. So that's the traditional self-concept. It's sense of worthiness, sense of deservability. But again, here we're talking about our person, the specific person. We're not talking in love in general. Because I also hear this a lot from people say, no, we feel deserving, we feel lovable. But then they're bringing in their object of desire and suddenly they're not feeling that worthy and lovable for whatever reason. So it's always about looking at your object of desire, that person, that specific person. So that's generally when we're talking about self-worth. But then there is that other element, which is the other. The other is anything that you feel that your SP wants that you can't or don't want to give. That also fits here. This is very important, and I've seen this with multiple clients. I've seen that they have something that they prefer to experience that they feel their SP will not be on board with them. So here are some examples. I don't want kids. My SP wants kids. So this is something that is important to you for whatever reason. This is something you want, and you feel that it's a roadblock that's preventing your SP being with you. So this is authentically who you are. That's why it's under self. It's who you are. This is what you prefer. This is what you want. And you feel that that's a roadblock for you getting what you want. It has nothing to do with deservability, self-worth, but it is a limiting assumption about yourself and a preference that you have that you feel is standing in between you and your SP. And of course, here I'm not telling you to change your preference. I'm just saying it's an assumption that you have about yourself that you feel is standing in between you and manifesting your SP. So here you feel this is a roadblock. This is why we are listing it as a limiting assumption. It's an assumption you have that what you want or what you prefer is standing in between you and being with your SP. Another one could be, I want to travel the world and experience the world, but my SP does not want that. My SP is a homebody. My SP is doing their thing. They have their own business. They have a great job and they're very successful at that, and they can't travel with me. And that's the life I want to experience. That's another example. A third example could be, I don't want to get married, but my SP values marriage. My SP will not live with me if we are not married. So these are examples of things, assumptions that actually could be getting in the way, and people don't think about these things. These are sometimes subconsciously holding you back. So when you want to look at all the assumptions, you want to look at all levels. So these are things, the other are things that are important to me, and I assume my SP has a problem with. Or it's something that I can't change in myself to give to the other person. And you don't want to change that in yourself. That's the key. But subconsciously, you're thinking it's a roadblock. So again, here, it has nothing to do with self-worth. It has nothing to do with deservability, feeling good enough. It's just a preference that you have that kind of does not coincide with the preferences you think your SP has. So that's the first level. Moving into the second level, we're talking here about your assumptions about SP. And again, your assumptions about them that are preventing you from being together. It's not general assumptions. So it's whatever is standing in between you and your specific person. So these could be about what they want, assumptions about their character, the things in them that might be triggering to you as well. So maybe you really do love that person, but there are aspects of their personality that are getting in the way. So here are some examples. my SP does not want to get married. My SP just wants to enjoy their life. My SP doesn't want kids. We mentioned that before. My SP is not trustworthy. My SP is unfaithful. My SP is promiscuous, or my SP wants to be in an open relationship, or my SP needs XYZ, which I can't offer. It's in any number of assumptions you have about them purely. It's about them. Now, a lot of the time, those assumptions about them are really boiling down to assumptions about self. So when you're saying they don't want to get married, you're kind of, it is a playback towards your self-concept, because you're feeling, I'm not worthy of being the one to get them to settle down. Because how many times do you see a woman say, well, I'm gonna be the one who's gonna let them settle down, right? So you say that if you have a really rock solid self-concept, you may get them to do what you think others can't make them do, because you have a rock solid self-concept. So all of these are assumptions of SP that are standing in the way of you being in that desirable relationship. The third one is your assumptions about how the SP sees you, what they think of you, their feelings towards you as well. So SP does not love me, or SP thinks I'm too needy, SP thinks I'm too emotional, SP thinks I'm not funny enough, I'm not cool enough. So again, these are how you think your SP sees you. These are the typical limiting negatives, but there are also limiting positives. SP thinks I'm too successful, SP thinks I'm too independent, SP thinks I'm too wealthy. So these are the things that generally would be seen as positive, but you think they're standing in the way, because again, you've been programmed that if you're too independent, especially when we're talking about traditional male-female interaction, a male is intimidated by a woman who's too strong, too independent. So these are also assumptions. So these are things you need to also be careful of. You wanna also release these. And in the end, all of these can be released just by bringing them to your conscious awareness. But then you can affirm, you take the opposite of that. Or in this example, my SP loves that I'm very independent. My SP loves that I'm very strong. So you kind of wanna shift that into a positive. The final one is your assumptions about circumstances in general where love is concerned. And to be honest, a lot of the time, this is driving this, and this. It's driving all of that. So for example, love requires work. Love is hard. So you're kind of manifesting these difficulties in your relationship that are causing you to manifest working hard for this love. It's hard to find a good partner. A good partner is always married or unavailable, or men don't want to get married. Men are hard to pin down, or women want a rich husband. Life involves struggle. Like, love is the last thing you need to worry about. Like, life in and of itself is a struggle, so forget about love. It has nothing to do with life. It's not about getting what you want in life. No one is happy, or marriage and love don't come together. So all kinds of assumptions we have been learning from a young age that are kind of impacting everything else. And so you're automatically manifesting that in your relationship, or you're finding it hard to find a suitable partner, or when you find a suitable partner, it's hard to have a good relationship with them, and so on and so forth. So you really want to drill down and look at all the assumptions that you are holding on to that are getting in the way of you having your relationship. And not just manifesting your SPN, it's keeping the relationship and being happy in the relationship. It's all of this is not just to get someone. It's for you to upgrade your inner assumptions so that you can have your desires in their highest form, so that you can have a lifelong relationship if that's what you want, so that you can be happy in your relationship once you're in it. Or it's about taking your relationship to the next level. It's all about upgrading yourself so that you can have everything that you want and more. It's really about continuously evolving and growing, and your needs and wants grow with that. And so you need to always be upgrading your assumptions so that you are not allowing these to interfere in you having your desire in its highest potential. I hope you liked this video. If you did, then please hit the thumbs up and leave me a comment. I would love to hear your comments about this. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.